Hey there, Go Matters, and hello to my students. Sorry it's been a while since we last had a YouTube video, but as I said, we've had a busy few weeks. We've had back to school night, school's in full effect, we've had sports tryouts, and my little one here, who's officially a toddler apparently, has just been running around like crazy. And I said, and you may be hearing my cat right now as well, scratching away. So we're going to try to do a little quick tutorial on some of our math concepts that we've been doing while I'm holding little Miss Addie here. And shout out to IKEA. We just got this really cool table for Addie, and it's awesome for her because she's kind of over the whole high chair thing, so she likes sitting at a little table with chairs. So we got this for like $30 with a table and 2 chairs, and so far she's loving it, and it makes for a great YouTube surface area here. So anyways, back to the concept of math. So again, we are huge into interactive notebooks, and if I look here to my table of contents, you can tell that we've had a very busy 3 weeks of school learning all about ratios, rates, ratio tables, and said we have been moving on to graphing ratio tables. So I noticed with my kiddos that ratios have been a little bit of a challenge for us just because we have struggled with simplifying our ratios. So we went back and did some divisibility rules here just to kind of refresh our memories on how to simplify just any type of numbers, to be exact. So again, divisibility rules, it's just a strategy to help us kind of remember how we can divide numbers. We should be able to get to a goal of where, hey, I can look at a number and know, hey, that's divisible by 2, by 3, by 5, by 0, or not, that's not divisible by those numbers. And divisible meaning that it's divided by, or can be divided by, that number. So just a quick little recap, and then I'm going to show you some examples. A number can be divisible by 2 if the last digit is even, and a number can be divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits are divisible by 3. 4 means that the last 2 digits form a number divisible by 4. 5, this one's a nice easy one, if the number ends in a 0 or 5. 6, the trick to 6 is that it has to be divisible by 2 and 3, and then the number will also be divisible by 6. 7, now 7 is the tricky one. There is a rule for it, but it's a little bit complicated. Not one that honestly that you're going to remember easily. So I just always tell my kiddos, hey, this is one of those math facts that you just have to know. I mean, ideally, you'd like to know all of your math facts, 1 through 9, or 1 through 10 rather. But said if you're using divisibility rules as a strategy, this is one that said you just have to know your facts for that one. If we look on, oh, there's our graphing. We'll get to that in a second. This may get a little complicated here. 8 is divisible if the last 3 digits form a number that is divisible by 8. 9 if the sum of all the digits are divisible by 9. And 10 if the number is divisible or ends, in 0. Now, again, realistically, are you going to remember all of these rules? No, but my kiddos are able to use their notebooks on quizzes. So this is just a helpful reminder for them of, hey, if I have a ratio or a rate, I can quickly look at these sets of rules to determine if I can simplify that ratio any further. So eventually the goal is that you will know your division tables and can quickly look at numbers and know, hey, I can divide this or simplify it further. So a couple examples to further explain these rules. So again, bear with me. I am balancing a cat here who's at my feet, very interested in the camera, so you might hear her. I'm also holding my daughter, so it's going to get quite tricky here real quick. But a couple things. Let's see if I can put Addie down without messing up anything. We shall see. So let's start with this. Some of the basics that we should know, like 2, 3, and let's see, like 5 and 10. 2. So if I look at a number like 126, I look at that last digit. If it's an even number, I know that it can be divisible by 2. Even meaning that, when you teach second grade, I used to teach them, it has to have a buddy. So for example, if I have the number 6 out in dots, sorry, it's a little bit shaky. Oh yeah, look, Addie, colors. She's found the markers. So it's even if said everybody has a buddy, so it said no one's left out, therefore it is even. Another way to think about it, if it's like the number 7, meaning that there is an odd man out, so that number would be odd. So with the number 126, it ends in even number, so I know this whole number is divisible by 2. So you could check by doing long division. And again, this is a skill that should be reviewed, but sometimes we need to recap it even in 6th grade. So I have 2. I look at the first number, can 2 go into 1, meaning that are there any numbers I can multiply 2 by to get 1? And the answer is no. So then I look at the next number, 2 numbers together, or 2 digits would be the better term for it. Can 2 go into 12? Again, is there any number times 2 that can give me the number 12? And I know that 6 can go into 12, or 6 times 2 can go into 12. So I would do that. I bring down my 6. And again, I look at can 2 times what number gives me 6? That would be 3. And then I would subtract. And then we know, oh, hello, Addie. Addie's going to join in this tutorial. Do you know how to do long division? So that is the trick there with 2's. Another example I just want to show you with the divisibility rules. If I have 3's. Now this one totally got my kiddos when we took a quiz on Friday. We had the number 171. And majority of them did not simplify this number. And when it was in the ratio, yes, we missed this one. So that's why we're reviewing it. Addie's saying hello to everybody. So again, the rule is if the sum of all the digits, meaning if I add 1 plus 7 plus 1, I have 1 plus 7 is 8, 8 plus 1 is 9. Can 9 be divided by 3? Yes, it can. So this whole number can be divided by 3. And again, I'll prove it with long division with some assistance here from Addison. I look at the first digit. Can 3 go into 1? No. Can 3 go into 17? Not quite, but we can get close. Okay? So sometimes in division, we're trying to see just how close can we get to that number without going over. So again, if I do like 3 times 4, that's 12. Yeah, that's 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. I can't go over, so here you go. So I have to go with the 5. 3 times 5 is 15. I find the difference between 17 and 15. It is 2. I bring down my 1. 3 can go into 21 7 times. Okay. So again, if just by looking at numbers, whoa, and I said, it's a common error. If I look at 171, I automatically would think like, oh, well, that can't be divisible by anything. It doesn't end an even number. It doesn't end an even number. It doesn't end in 0 or 5. So most kiddos and even adults will just disregard this number and say, well, I can't divide it any further or simplify it. But and truly you can. So if I look back at my divisibility rules, we sure can. So one of the things that we as a class I know have to work on is ratios and rates. So using that same number, the focus, wait for it. Addie, it's not focusing. Oh, there it goes. The question that we had, here, was like the apple. It's a fake apple, but you may have it. We had, it was like a question, off the top of my head, it was like, if I traveled 171 miles and it took me 3 hours, how far did I travel in 1 hour? Okay, so we'd be finding the rate. So, I had the 171 miles over 3 hours. And the trick with said unit rates is, yes, Addison, it is that we're trying to get our denominator or that bottom number into a 1, because unit rates, we're looking per the hour or per dollar. We're trying to simplify it all the way to 1. So one of the strategies, we could have